Have you ever been hungry? I mean, not just breakfast to lunch hungry or hungry because dinner's a little late. Has someone in your family, one of your loved ones, not been secure about where the food was going to be coming from for the next meal on the table? Well, this is Volunteering in the Valley, and we're going to talk today about a big community project to help our emergency food pantry. I have Jane Yulhorn with me as my guest, and we'll explain what we're doing and why we're doing it, and why you'd love to have us pitch in and help, either for the food drive or at the food pantries, because we have two pantries. We have a monthly distribution, and that's headed up by Linda Ellis, and we have an emergency food pantry, which is headed up by Linda Truitt, and we will tell you a little bit more about those operations as we go along. Jane, tell us who's going to sponsor this and why are we doing the project?
Okay. AARP is sponsoring this. It's called our 9/11. It's in honor of 9/11, of all the volunteers and of all of those people that were lost during 9/11. And this is a way that our AARP, our Chapter 5450, has decided that we could help our community by sponsoring this food drive and helping out these food centers for these people that are in need.
This is our day of service. This is something we do every single year, and we prepare collection boxes, which we're going to be doing this week, and they will be in a number of area locations, including both the CVTV location here in the corporate office for Sheraton Valley and at the Sheraton Valley commercial office where they do their regular public sales. We're going to have in a number of other places, including Samaritan Hospital, a number of offices, a number of businesses. This will all be on the flyer that will appear on your screen. What we want to bring to your attention too is we visited with Linda Truitt before we came today, and she told us what the greatest needs were, things that the pantry doesn't always get. In September, the shelves get pretty thin over there at the emergency food pantry. For some reason, at the end of the summer, everybody's busy with other things. There aren't any other groups conducting food drives at that time. So the specific requests at this time are real basic. Flour, sugar, peanut butter, jelly, large jars preferred on the peanut butter and jelly. Canned vegetables other than green beans and whole kernel corn. You know, the variety things like carrots and creamed corn, potatoes, spinach, peas. And they even get requests for hominy, and they rarely get anybody donating hominy. And I wouldn't ask, would you?
No.
I guess if I was hungry, I'd eat hominy too. Chili beans, pork and beans, dried beans and rice, tuna and other canned meats, because very important to make sure that there's some high quality protein in those shelves. Ramen noodles, paper goods, soaps, laundry detergent, shampoo. And the reason we see the paper goods and the cleaning essentials in there is that even if you have food stamps, you may not use any of your food stamp money for a bar of soap or a roll of paper towels. That's strictly for edibles. So those things, it's really great when the families come in to say, you know, do you need a roll of paper towels? Do you need a bottle of shampoo? Because those people want to maintain. They want to take care of their children. They want to be presentable to go to their job. And you'd be surprised how many of the folks that do use the emergency pantry have jobs. Most of them do. You can use that emergency pantry up to 4 times a year. And one of the great things about that is that we don't always know what's going to be an emergency for you or for me. It might be a major repair on a car that you hadn't planned on. You can't get to work without the car, and you've got to buy groceries or you've got to pay for the car repair. So you're in a real bind. Maybe it's a medical emergency that you hadn't planned for that isn't covered by insurance. So there's lots of opportunities out there. Jane, tell me why this is one of your favorite projects of the year.
Well, it's because it helps out the community and those people that are in need. And yeah, because sometimes it is hard. It's hard sometimes because you have emergencies that do come up, and when you're hungry, and you're trying to feed your children and that sort of thing, it's nice to have some place to go to be able to help to do that. Sometimes it's hard to get enough food to eat, so we need to help out as much as we can.
And there's other ways besides taking part in the food drive that we're going to be doing. Linda Ellis needs help every single month on their monthly food distribution. That's food that is shipped in bulk from, I believe, down at, do they go to
USDA, and
yeah.
from the agriculture.
Well, some of it is, some of it isn't, but it comes in bulk. A lot of it has to be broken down into individual packaging and put onto shelves. They need people to come through and help those who may have a disability, who would have a problem going through by themselves and loading the cart with the things that they're entitled to get. So if you think you want to be a part of that, give Linda Ellis a call, because she loves to do this. And she did a very neat little bit about a family that came to help her out recently. The littlest one was so small in this family that she was a little concerned that the two littlest children might be maybe more of a danger to themselves or something. They both pitched in. The best the littlest one could do was count to 5. So they gave her bags. She put 5 of a particular item in those bags, put them over in a pile for somebody else to finish taking care of. But that just touches my heart because it helps me understand that you're never too young, you're never too old, you're never too weak, too strong, too anything to not volunteer. There's no reason to hold back. If you can't go in and help haul stuff around in the warehouse for Linda, she'll find a place for you, believe me. Whether you're 5 or 85, she'll find a place. There's so many places that we volunteer, and I think particularly as we get our young people involved, it's teaching for a lifetime. It's a life skill. We talk more now about giving the kids life sports that they can do. Things like golf and tennis, things that you can play on past the end of high school and college. Let's give them another lifetime skill, another lifetime ability that they can carry with them. I had the privilege of being a judge for a queen pageant in another county recently. And I probably wouldn't have taken part had I not, in talking to my friend who asked me to do it, learned that 80% of the score for these young women was based on their volunteering experience and their presentation concerning their volunteering experience. What better way to help these young women prepare for life? Yes, they're volunteering. Yes, they're being able to communicate about volunteering. And those communication skills will be great, whether they're on in college, whether they're going to a job interview, or whether they're just using those communication skills to let the community know where the needs are and how we can get help. Volunteering in the Valley is a joint project of CVTV, part of Sheraton Valley, and our Longbranch area AARP chapter, which we've talked long and hard about today. Feel free to come and join us for a meeting that's the first Thursday of every month at 4 o'clock. Lock Haven Nursing Home's been gracious enough to let us use their activity room for that purpose. Just come and sit in, see if we're a good fit for you, and if maybe you'd like to be involved in some of the things that we're doing in the community. Oh, and a heads up. We mentioned last time when we were talking with the folks from the Macon Senior Center, we talked about their hog roast. They had their hog roast. It was a great success. It was well attended. I can vouch for the quality of the meal. It was fantastic. We want to thank personally everybody who helped with that. There were those that cooked, those that served, those that cleaned up the tables after people were finished, those that sat at the desk and collected the donations as people came through the door. It all made for a great day and allows the senior center to keep delivering Meals on Wheels and to keep doing things like offering their exercise class and many of the other activities that they have for the seniors in the community. So while you're out there, keep your eyes open. If you're aware of a need for volunteers, please let us know so that we can put you in Jane's chair and let you be part of volunteering in the Valley. So Jane, one last word from you on why it's important to volunteer, because I know you do a lot of things in the community.
Yes, I mean, it's a good thing to do. It's to help you to be considerate and conscientious of people around you and to realize their needs and help them out. So, and I think our AARP does a good job at doing this function, and we end up helping out a lot of people this way.
Thank you. Happy volunteering.